If there is one crime, right, that you can increase the punishment of, what would it be?
I think maybe like sexual act related, like rape or molestation, all these kind of things. I know the penalty is already quite high, but I think can increase one.
Actually, I think the molestation part, I don't know what's exactly the punishment, but
We have covered news before. The guy molested a girl, less than 2 years. And then upskirt also about the same amount. I think like the offense a bit different. One is you really touch, no?
Yeah, I think upskirt one for me. Because I feel like this kind of behavior can control kind. Like, you know, some behavior is because your mind a bit off already, you cannot control yourself. But upskirt is a video that, I mean, is an act that you can self-control a bit lah, but you choose to do the act. Then it causes a bit of like trauma. You know, next time people don't dare to wear skirt because of that, no?
Yeah,
for basket, the punishment must be super high.
You couldn't hold it together, so you fucked it up.
For me, right, I feel that a lot of punishment, right, fits the crime already. So, right, what I will propose, right, is to lower the age from, like, let's say 18, right, when you're, to, like, lower than, maybe 14 years old.
Actually, that's true. Sometimes these young delinquents, why you give them so much space just because they are minors?
Because
They're
at that
16,
age, you
no?
already can think already.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
What is it now again?
It's 21. Below 21, like 18 to 21, you're still considered a young person. So you won't get the full brunt of the law. After 21, then you're trialed as an adult.
So are you suggesting that to put it to 18?
Maybe
Lower.
16.
The lower it.
Then the 16 bracket right now goes down to maybe like 14 or 13.
Yes, something like that. And also, right, I feel that, right, those people with mental health issues that cause them to do the crime, right, should be severely punished. They always get a slap on the wrist. I feel that if, let's say, you are supposed to serve 24 years in prison, right, you should, and because of your mental health illness, right, you should serve 24 years, right, in asylum.
Okay, you know why it's an issue or not? Because lawyers have found a loophole. They've realized if I'm able to prove, right, because of this issue or that issue, his actions were kind of influenced by the condition, then I can lower and mitigate a lot of things.
Because every serial killer has also got issue one. Yeah, so that's why I feel that if you see you serve the same, right, maybe at a better care under asylum.
But you still serve.
Yes. And you will confirm become siao one.
That is your real punishment. Right? Now you go in.
Here's some games. Games that want to get out. More games. Games that vegetize you. See?
Okay, so recently, right, the Ministry of Home Affairs tabled a bill with a proposal for raising penalties and expanding the scopes for serious crimes such as scamming, egregious abuse of vulnerable victims, online sexual grooming, and large-scale circulation of obscene material. So, just to give a comparison, previously, right, cheating by deception has a maximum of 10 years imprisonment and fine for serious cases.
That's quite chala.
Yeah. In the proposed bill, there will be a mandatory caning of at least 6 strokes.
Oh my god, that's good.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yes, and up to 24 strokes for members or recruiters of scam syndicates.
Oh my god, genius.
And for money mules and enablers, they will be sentenced up to 12 strokes of cane.
Good.
That is discounting everything that they already come with. So for egregious abuse, right, it used to be maximum imprisonment for up to 20 years. And also the
What is egregious abuse though?
very jalan.
Very chala what?
Abuse of a vulnerable victim, like child abuse, until they they die or whatever.
Okay.
So 20 years plus caning and fines. So in the proposed bill, it will increase up to life or 30 years imprisonment.
Wow.
As for large-scale circulation of obscene materials, right, they've increased the scope to AI-generated child obscene materials, and also a new offense for being the mastermind of setting up an online channel for circulation of this material. So for example, the SG Nasi Lemak. Okay. So in the proposed bill, the punishment will be 2 years for above 18 material and 4 years for below 18 material. 5 years for setting up the channel for above 18 and 7 years for setting up a channel for below 18 materials.
I think the 7 years can bump up to 10 one. Because this is maximum. Maximum is different from mandatory.
Yes.
So maximum just pump it up a bit more.
I feel the same thing. You know why not? Because you know how Singapore has I feel globally has a stance where they are okay with the not okay, but less
Consuming it is not as bad as
supplying
distributing
it. This is literally supplying it. And when you talk about digital materials, right, it is not in like 1,000, 2,000 worth of pictures, no. It is tens and hundreds of thousands of child pornography materials, and that will supply to many, many, many people. So I feel like 7 years a bit.
7 years max is a bit low.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not enough.
Okay, so I want to discuss, right, about the limits of a punishment. So evidence from criminology often shows that there are diminishing deterrent returns once penalties exceed a certain point. Do you think the new sentences that are proposed crosses that line, or is it still within the deterrent level that they want it to be at?
I think in Singapore, the higher the punishment, the greater the deterrence. In fact, I don't know what these studies are like. A lot of it is based on prison studies in the US, which is very, very different from prison studies here, and it's also very, very different from just societal studies.
Yes, so to be clear, the studies that they are referencing to, it is in Canada.
So it is a very different kind of environment, and also they are mostly studying like felons and stuff. In Singapore, you must make a study of, and there have been studies done also, what is it like if for the normal human, the normal Singaporean, if let's say you increase the deterrence, will they curb back on these actions or not? I think there have been quite a number of things where when they increase the deterrence, we step back a bit. We don't do it as much.
I think the caning itself, it will deter a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think we are anywhere close to the point where there's going to be diminishing returns for an increase in deterrence.
And I feel, okay, you talk about all those crimes that people do, right? In Singapore especially, it's always done by people from other country. Like, it really deter us Singaporeans from joining like scams or whatnot. Like, all the scams I feel is like all from like China, all the other neighboring countries. Yeah, even like drugs also. Like Singaporean, we are really afraid to traffic drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of such a high punishment for like whether trafficking or even consuming, right? Most people, right, if you don't do this, they might consider. Because the punishment is so grave, now they okay, never mind, play safe.
So then all the syndicate, all these, they just play whether they get caught or not, because different jurisdiction. But suddenly they get caught, they bring
Then you
Singapore
come
here.
in there, after that, all these virtue signalers come and petition for them. Which is another thing. Sometimes I feel like those who try to be empathetic, that's not empathy, I feel. Because their claim is, we don't understand the situations that push them to this level. Like how was their upbringing, how was their family or the society they were in and all. A lot of people also face this, but they don't allow themselves to be pushed to this level. Let's just put two people in the same scenario, right? Exactly the same scenario. They grew up in harshness, the family like abuse them, everything was difficult, they have no money at all, they need to steal or beg to even survive and all. One decide, okay, I'm just gonna suck it up, be poor, continue to stay poor, and maybe find scraps on the dustbin area or what and survive. Another one decide, I have little to lose, just try to do this drug run. And you are saying that because of the conditions they are in, right, maybe this guy, let's give him a bit of face because we don't understand the upbringing and stuff. But what about this guy? He's a spit in his face, no?
And the thing about this, right, is it will go back to the idea of opening the floodgate. Once you make the society feel that it is not that bad or there is some leniency given to this because of the situation, now people in this situation will consider doing the same thing now.
And then syndicates will target this kind of
These
people.
fellas.
Okay, so I want to ask you guys, right, in the recent years, there seem to be more and more crimes that's happening in Singapore. As a citizen, right, do you guys still have the same faith and trust in the safetiness of Singapore compared to 10 years ago?
One thing about Singapore, right, the punishment is always double down one. So like this, they want to increase the punishment for this kind of crime.
Whack them more.
Like Singapore will always do something about it, because you cannot blame them like those cyber attacks or this, right? Maybe they are not so alert yet, but right now it's under their radar, right? They will not allow this thing to happen.
You know, the DBS, the banks, they implemented this idea, right? That half of your account, if you want to transact, right, they will lock it for 1 day or something like that, if it's more than half of your account amount. So we have to see based on, let's say we are saying that more things happen in Singapore, like your vape, your syndicate, all these things, right? It also actually happened in other countries, like as in Malaysia, Thailand, all this. And I would assume that the severity in Singapore, right, is, let's say it's like 50. But the severity in other countries, right, let's say our neighborhood countries, right, it will be at like 80 or 90. Why? Because of the measures that the government did not take or could not take, you know, that kind. So in terms of safe, right, I think still very safe. Let's say if you go to some other countries, you will not feel like that, you know.
It's bad, but it's not that bad.
What about you guys? If there is one crime, right, that you can choose to increase the punishment of, what would it be? Let us know and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye bye.